Welcome, everyone, to Planet of NY Sports. Here we talk Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets, and a little bit of the Knicks and Nets. So today we will be basically doing some grades and everything for the Yankees and Mets offseason. We're going to go with the Yankees first because, as we all know, we didn't do too much. I'm going to be honest here. We didn't do a lot. Some of the moves were good, but there was definitely one hole, that I feel like the Yankees should have filled. All right, now, first off, we can go with, let's see, the free agency losses. So first we have Benintendi, Jameson Taillon, Rodrick Chapman, see ya. Matt Carpenter, and Miguel Castro. So I'll give my takes on these. The only guy I feel here that really would have preferred to keep was probably Benintendi, especially when you look at the Yankees left field options right now. It is not good. And you see Brian Cashman basically coming out and he's like, "Oh yeah, Aaron Hicks can be our starting left fielder next year." Are you serious? Are you serious? Did you watch last year? Did you watch last year, Brian? Look, I get it. You can't say certain things, especially if you still are trying to look for a trade for that player. But to say he's going to be the starting left fielder, stop. Let's calm down here. How can you say that? The guy's defense has declined. His hitting, the guy worries more about his golf swing than his actual, hitting. I just can't. Rodrick, what is your take on the Yankees' current left field situation?
It's bad. It's really bad. When you have guys like Aaron Hicks and Oswaldo Cabrera as your left field options, that's not good. If you look around the league, like teams like the Astros and Mets who have significantly upgraded outfields compared to the Yankees, I mean, it just shows the kind of level the Yankees are at versus the other big teams in the MLB right now.
Yeah, and the whole Brian Reynolds trade thing. I'm glad the Yankees also didn't trade for him though, because for what they want a Soto type package. I'm not doing that for Brian Reynolds. Let's calm down here. And they want a Soto package, yet they're offering him $75 million. I don't see how that really adds up. But they know they're not keeping him. So hey, if they don't budge, maybe at the deadline they'll decrease it a little. Who knows? But the Yankees' current left field situation, it's bad. When you look at the rest of the outfield, though, it is good. I guess we can go into it right now. They did re-sign Aaron Judge and Rizzo, but just speaking on Judge, you have Judge, a great right fielder. Then you have Harrison Bader, a great center fielder. All you need is that left fielder, and you're looking at one of the better outfields in the MLB, especially defensively. If you had, Benintendi, if you kept him, Rodrick, how do you feel about the Yankees letting Benintendi walk?
I think at the time you said the price tag was a little expensive, if I remember correctly. But I mean, you didn't do anything to replace him, so it's like if you do let a guy like that walk, you better have a contingency plan for when he leaves. And the Yankees obviously did not do anything regarding the left field spot. So
exactly like that, and that is what I said. I was like, okay, if we're he is kind of expensive. But if we're letting him walk, there better be a backup plan here, or somebody we have in mind that we may sign, or that you can possibly trade for. And you don't really have that. We know that they discussed, Brian Reynolds, but for what they want, no, you can't really do that right now. And just Jason. By the way, Jason Dominguez is coming. He's coming to spring training. So, but hey, I seriously doubt the Yankees are going to call him up this year. I think he will be up probably mid 2024, maybe. I think that's when we may see him. Depends how he does in AA. But man, it's not good. It's just not good. And if I see Aaron Hicks in the lineup, I am going to flip out. I'm seriously going to flip out if I see that guy in the lineup. I just can't. I really cannot with Aaron Hicks. He's, like I said, he defensively. He's not that guy anymore. He's not hitting wise. Like I said, focuses more on his golf swing. It's really bad. Now the Yankees, we also didn't make any noteworthy trades. I'll say that. So I guess the only major signing we made, or a new guy added to the team, is Carlos Rodon. All right, Carlos Rodon. Now, this is the move for the Yankees. That is actually okay. There you go. Boosting the rotation. Because when you look at the rotation, it definitely wasn't an issue. But I feel like we definitely needed another arm. And Talion did walk, so it was like, okay, you got to replace him now, and you don't want to downgrade either. So when you look at the Yankees rotation now it's Cole, Rodon, Nestor. Nestor as a 3. I would take Nestor as a 3. I think he's better suited there than as a 2. And then you have Severino as a 4. I would take that too. I would take Severino as a 4. And then as a 5, well, the guy's missing the first month of the season, Frankie Montas, but I'm not going to worry about him. But you still have some depth behind him, though. You still have guys like Herman, who we've seen in the past can slide into that 5th slot and be pretty decent. So, Rodrick, what is your opinion on the state of the Yankees rotation right now?
I think that they did a good job improving it. Like you said, they needed another arm in there, and to be successful in today's MLB, you need 3 good quality stars. You need a 1A and a 1B, and maybe a B plus starter, whatever how you want to call it. You need 2 aces and a solid mid rotation guy. So the Yankees they got Rodon, and in regards to rotation, it's looking very bright for this upcoming season. It's looking like they can make some noise with a rotation like that. So.
Yeah, especially when you have Severino as a 4 now. That's really good. Like Severino as a 4, like on some teams he would be like a 2 or like a 3. Like as a 4, that's pretty good now. And then Montas, well, his name is Frankie Montas, but I like to say Montas because it's an inside joke. But I mean him as a 5, if he is somewhat healthy, I think I would take that because we did. Last year it wasn't great, but maybe if he brings it back a little, and he's a 5 now, so you don't have to expect too much out of him. So now, yeah, that was quick because the Yankees didn't really do much. So we can go to the other team in New York, the New York Mets. Rodrick, take it away, please.
All right, starting with the Mets, made a lot of moves this offseason, unlike the Yankees. Starting with Edwin Diaz, the closer. 5 years, $102 million. Just great, and yeah.
We're just gonna sit here for the next minute.
Yeah.
Nope. Gotcha again.
Right.
Gotcha again. Right. I didn't want to go too long there, but all right, Rodrick, give me the other move, or just give me your thoughts on re-signing Edwin Diaz. Actually,
just massive. I mean, when you hear the trumpets, the game is pretty much over. Yeah, I mean, it speaks for itself. I mean, one of the most dominating closers, if not the most dominant closer in baseball. He signed him for a relatively, I don't want to say cheap, but not an overpay, I'd say, in my estimation. That was the first move of the offseason, but as you know, there's more. Brandon Nimmo, Wyoming's finest. 8 years, $162 million deal. Keep him a Met for pretty much life. I mean, he's a center fielder. That position's been locked up. We didn't have anybody in the pipeline, so it was kind of good to just lock up center field. He's a A-plus glove, not A-plus, A glove, A stick. He can run a little bit, I won't say 5'2", but he can do pretty much everything for you. Then Russell's favorite pitcher in baseball, Justin Verlander, on a 2-year deal for $0.6 million. At the time, I did want Rodon, but now that I'm looking at it, Justin Verlander, he was meant to be a Met. I mean, he looked good in orange and blue in Houston. Of course, he's going to look good in it now. Uh, some people, I'm not going to say any names, Russell, have talked about his arm potentially going dead. And I just think that it's not going to happen. I mean, the guy's coming off a Cy Young, and who's to say he's going to falter now?
I didn't say his arm's going to be dead. I'm just posing the question of how is he going to handle New York? And I have the same thing for Rodon too. We'll get into that like a little later in the video. But I just have like no, we can do it now actually. Like I just want to like pose a question of how, like Rodon, Senga, Verlander, like how are some of these pitchers going to do in New York? Because it is a different beast pitching here. It is. And like, if you're like the opposing team, like I don't care. When you're here, it's different. And when you're wearing either the pinstripes, either color. But for Garrett Cole too, like we saw him, he pitched well in New York with the Astros. Him here, I mean, he's been like he hasn't been worth the money that we're giving him. I would say he has showed up in the postseason more times than not, but still, he's not worth that money. And we saw it with Scherzer too. The postseason.
I know you want to highlight the game one, but besides that, Max Scherzer was absolutely dominant last year. Besides game one, and besides his start against the Braves late in the year, he had a phenomenal season. So I can't.
But what do you get? What do you pay him for, though? What do you pay him for?
We're paying him for postseason success, and I think that coming into this year where he's carrying a heavier load because the Grom left, I think that he's gonna want to avenge himself. And a question that was posed to me by somebody, I'm not gonna say who should start opening day, Max Scherzer or Justin Verlander? And what I said was Max Scherzer because I feel like he needs to prove himself in a way. I mean, he had his game one performance where he gave up 4 home runs. I'm sorry, I lost count for a second there, and he needs to bounce back certainly. All right, moving forward, Kodai. Is it Kodai or is it I forget. I'll figure it out. Kodai Senga, 5 year, $75 million deal. Now, this deal has a lot of potential to be a good deal. It also has a lot of potential to be a bad deal. So, because the term scares me, where we gave him 5 years for a guy who has never pitched in North America. So, if he can give us like a sub 350, cool, it's worth it. But if he posts us 3.75 or 4, that's not worth it. So I hope that he can, I hope that he can perform, and he has that new pitch that nobody's apparently seen before in North America. So hopefully that goes well. The little, I forget what it's called, the ghost ball, whatever. But yeah, and then we have Jose Quintana and Omar Narvaez both getting 2 year deals. These are just depth signings at this point. I mean, they're sharing up the back end of the rotation. They're sharing up behind the plate, which was an issue for them last year. Give them a different bat from behind the plate. Speaking of behind the plate, getting rid of James McCann, the best move the Mets front office has made in, I don't know, 25 years, and getting him out of there for it's basically nothing. I mean, it doesn't matter. Getting him out of there was the main thing there. And also behind the plate, Russell, your favorite catching prospect, Francisco Alvarez. Maybe he's starting in Flushing, maybe not, but he will get some time throughout the year, which I'm very excited to see. I mean, Alvarez, I've seen him play twice now, once in game one and once in Syracuse, and he's just a freak, bro. Like he's a massive human being. Same thing with Brett Beatty, who also future franchise third baseman. That's all I gotta say. And then to the bullpen, we have Adam Ottavino on a 2 year deal and David Robinson on a 1 year deal. Again, just depth signings, shoring up the bullpen, making sure you have options. So just when you look at the two teams and you look at their off seasons, one team made two big splashes, that being the Yankees, but they didn't really, like I said, fix the left field, probably fix the bullpen a little bit. So you see what the Mets are doing here, shoring up the bullpen, making sure that their needs are met, which the Yankees have not done completely. So that kind of shows the contrast between the two. So what are your thoughts on the Mets offseason as it is right now?
Okay, real quick, just like on the Yankees, they did like sign Tommy Kahnle for the bullpen, but I feel like if anything, they probably needed like one more lefty arm. I'll just add that in because right now, also you have Wandy Peralta as your only lefty in the pen.
Francisco Lindor's son. Oh my
like
gosh.
like that's not very good. You need another lefty. I've gotten into arguments with other Yankee fans on certain like group chats about how oh, the metrics say that our righties are good against lefties. No, you like if let's just say Peralta goes down, you're basically screwed in terms of lefty bullpen arms. You need as much pitching as you can get in this league. Now, turning our attention to the Mets here, they had okay, I'll admit it, they had a great offseason. And if Francisco Alvarez, plays up to somewhat of what his potential is this year, and Brett Beatty, and if they're ready to take the reins, I don't really see a big weakness on this team at all. I really don't. I don't see any glaring weaknesses. It's going to be tough to beat the Mets. It's going to be, and imagine if the Mets did get Carlos Correa too. If they, man,
Oh yeah.
this team would be scary. Like
Everything's coming into place, bro. The right field fence is moving in, bigger scoreboard, uh, the bullpen being assured, and like I said, we're not done yet with the bullpen because it's traded for Brooks Raley, for Keyshawn Askew. I mean, look, like Russell said, you need a lot of pitching in the big leagues, and as the Mets saw last year, injuries were a problem. But you just signed two people and you traded for a guy. That's three guys in the bullpen plus Diaz. That's four. You already have guys like Drew Smith, Tyler McGill, David Peters. Like this bullpen is loaded. Like you have options no matter what. And then some other moves: Jeff Freeman and Alicia Hernandez again, shoring up. Make sure, you have depth. And the last one, Mets legend Danny Mendick, which I don't know why they did that. I I love the guy. He's a Mets legend. I'm probably gonna buy his jersey, but yeah, Danny Mendick, Mets legend. He's gonna win the MVP trophy this year, and yeah, let's go. Mets in five. Simple.
All right. So before we end this, give me your grade for the Yankees offseason.
I mean, I got to give it at least a B for
Yeah.
retaining Judge, but I don't know if I can give it much higher than that. I mean, you can get a nice little 85 out of 100, a little B.
Okay.
They didn't do much. That's really it. I mean, like you kind of had to get Judge, so I guess I'll give it a little pat on the back for that. But besides that, you got Rodon, okay, Kahnle, whatever. I don't see how this team put it like this. This team is not beating the Astros still. So until they can get over that hump on paper, I don't see how I can give them an A for this offseason.
Yeah, that's fair. I would go B plus. I would go B plus. Like you said, re-signing Judge was a must and stuff. But I do think adding Rodon and getting Kahnle like for this bullpen though is really good because one, he's familiar here, he can pitch here, and then two, given the Yankees, we know how their bullpen arms get hurt a lot, and at least they added one, but I can't give them any higher than a B plus, especially with not getting a left fielder. That's the obvious one. If they got a left fielder, this is easily like an A minus or an A. But you don't have a left fielder right now. I would have preferred one more lefty arm. I feel like that would have helped too. And you have an A plus offseason. Right now, this team is not beating the Astros. I've resided myself with that fact. All right, no, here, because you're going to go into it more. So I'll give my grade for the Mets offseason. Rodrick probably thinks I'm going to give it like a B plus or like a D or an F, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be realistic here and give it an A. I don't really see how you can't give it, anything less than that. Even like an A minus, I feel is probably too low. Roderick will probably say A plus. I'm just gonna say A because they did lose.
It's an A plus 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 plus.
All right, Roger, go into it. Why is it an A plus plus plus? And then we'll end.
Okay, for starters, the bum. Wait, let me not say that. Let me not say that. DeGrom leaving is obviously the big hole people will say, but I feel like the Mets kind of shored that up with three more starting pitchers. They shored up the bullpen. They got some catching help. They got the depth that they needed. They made some smaller moves just to kind of, shore up the roster. They got rid of some money in James McCann. They're probably gonna get rid of Escobar. They have 2 top 5 or top 10 whatever prospects coming up this year, or ready to make a big league impact. Plus Mark Vientos, who has literally the same what's the word? The same tools, the tool like scouting grade as Pete Alonso. So you want a comparison? There you go. So when you have guys like that coming up, you bring in guys like Senga and Quintana. I don't know how you don't say this is an A+ offseason. I mean, this team, I guess you could say they didn't get Carlos Correa, but even like you said, if they got Carlos Correa, this would be an automatic A+. Like, there wouldn't even be a debate. So even without him, this is at least a 95, a good A. If you want to give it an A-, cool, but I give it an A+.
I
Simply
don't
put.
know. I don't even think an A- is cool. I think it should be. I think it should be at least an A. I would say 95 or above, which is basically where I have it. Like, because I don't like giving A+ off seasons, especially because we don't know how that's going to act. And also just going on to the Mets here, real quick before we end this. You said that they added pitchers. I just want to just make note of they did lose 3 starting pitchers. They did lose.
Oh, Mr. Chris Bassett, I can't play in New York. Mr. DeGrom, my arm hurts. And who else?
Walker.
Mr. Tyron Walker, second half. Whoop dee dee do, Russell. I don't care. I genuinely do not care.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm not. I'm not going to give it an A+. I'm not giving it an A.
Okay, let me ask you this: would you rather have the Mets rotation right now or the Mets rotation from last year?
Right now.
Exactly.
Well,
no.
Well, we have to. No, I can't say that yet, though. We have to see. Ask me this question
on paper.
On paper, yeah.
All right.
Ask me this question for real in the first half, and then before I make judgments, because I don't know how Senga's going to pitch here. Verlander, I think Verlander he'll be fine, but it's like Senga. That's the pitcher I'm looking at. I want to see how he's gonna handle it here, and
I think that the way he's been reacting to just North America in general recently has shown me that he's ready to take this role. The way he's making jokes, he's just a fun guy from the short little things I've seen of him. Pause. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna push past that.
All right, I think it's time. I think we can end the video on that note.
I think we're done.
Yeah. All right. If you can all do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment too. We'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah. Follow the account. We'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.